What is a trial of 7?
The Andals believed that if 7 champions fought, the gods being thus honored would be more like to intervene and see the guilty party punished.
Your reign is over.
My reign has just begun.
Stories are not only told, they are forged.
Dunk was riding for Ashford Meadow. He'd been riding there with Ser Arlan before the old man died. Every mile had been a lesson, every stop a correction. By the time Dunk rode alone, Arlan's fire was spent. The shaping had only just begun. The world does not wait for a man to finish becoming who he is. The first thing to test Dunk was the law.
By law, only a true-born son is entitled to inherit a knight's arms. You must needs find a new device, sir. A sigil of your own.
He spoke with the weight of the realm behind him, not to strike Dunk down, but to keep him standing, to explain the rule before it broke him, and the path before it closed. And so, with no arms to bear and no name to inherit, Dunk would have to make something of his own. That night the square softened. Noise gave way to colour. Painted cloth stirred in the air. Marionettes danced in the pavilion, and Dunk once again found himself at a puppet show. Dunk cleared his throat. "It needs a field," he said. "Red, like sunset." Egg nodded too quickly. "And a tree," he added. "An elm, a big one, like the one by the river." Dunk glanced at Egg. "Aye," he said. "In the middle." Egg leaned closer. "And a star," he said. "Above it, just one." Tanselle listened. She didn't interrupt. She nodded. "Mm-hmm." And just like that, a shield began to take shape. Not from blood, but from memory. A knight's shield is meant to turn a blow, but sometimes it carries something else. The lessons of the man who forged you, the judgment of the men who test you, the voices of those who walk beside you. This shield will be more than oak and iron. Every progression is a thread waiting to find its place. In Westeros, nothing stays still. When this shield is completed, it may hold more than what's seen. But somewhere, even 1,000 eyes and one may feel the threads begin to entwine.
I dreamed of you. My dreams are not like yours. Mine come true. I've seen you, sir. And a fire. And a dead dragon. A great beast, with wings so large they could cover this meadow. It had fallen on top of you, but you were alive, and the dragon was dead.
Ah! Sir Duncan, you have to come! They're attacking her!
So why did Egg go to Dunk, and not to Baelor? Wisdom oft comes from the mouths of babes. Egg saw what others did not, and he knew exactly what kind of man Dunk was. That was when the shadows deepened, and the story turned dark. But in Westeros, doing what is right does not always go unpunished. The prince was bleeding, the guards came quickly, and Duncan the Tall was taken in chains. That night, Dunk sat in a cell of stone and iron. For a man who had spent his life on the open road, the silence felt heavier than any armour. He had done what was right, and now he would pay for it. Baelor Breakspear was not a man ruled by anger. He listened.
Would you not have done the same?
I might have. But I am a prince of the realm, not a hedge knight.
Don't all knights make the same oath? To protect the innocent.
He weighed, he judged, and he offered Dunk a path. Trial by combat, a chance to stand as a knight should stand. But some men do not seek justice, they seek spectacle. Aerion Targaryen wanted more than a single blade. He cowered behind the protection of 6 others. He demanded,
A trial of 7.
a trial of 7. 7 champions must stand, 7 to fight, and 7 to face them. Dunk had no house, no banners, and no name of note, but he would need 6 others who believed in what was right. Now, as Dunk took his place, the threads of fate were woven tight. And they came, one by one, men of different houses, different tempers, different reasons, but one place remained empty.
Has courage deserted the noble houses of Westeros? I will not believe it is so! Are there no true knights among you?
I will take Sir Duncan's side!
Baelor had many titles, but that day he stood as a protector. Steel rang, dust rose, and the trial began. 7 against 7. Dunk's side did not stand for glory, nor for crowns, but for the ideals of a true knight, for principle. And in the end, Dunk's side won with honour and compassion, but not without cost.
I dreamed of you and a dead dragon. A great beast, with wings so large they could cover this meadow. It had fallen on top of you, but you were alive, and the dragon was dead.
The father had stood for judgment, and the father became the sacrifice. Not for his own blood, not just for a hedge knight, but for a living embodiment of chivalry and an example of wisdom for the realm. Only then could it be seen clearly. The shaping, the threads, the hands that had guided Dunk from the beginning of his journey to the creation of a sigil that became the living example of the 7. The smith, Ser Arlan of Pennytree, who forged the ideals of knighthood into Dunk. The father, Baelor Breakspear, who judged with wisdom and sacrificed his life to protect the imagery of knighthood. The mother, the unseen force that binds, that holds the threads together so they do not unravel. The quiet mercy, the instinct to protect, the reason the tapestry holds and the shield endures. The maiden, Tanselle too tall, who painted life into the shield, who turned a shield into a sigil. Her virtue was worth protecting, for she could not stand against a prince alone. The crone, Egg, who saw clearly and guided the warrior where he needed to stand. The warrior, Duncan the Tall, who chose what was right when it would have been easier to walk away. And the stranger, the watcher in the distance, the unseen hand, the one who walks all roads. Bloodraven. 7 aspects, 7 influences, 7 pillars, the pillars upon which the tapestry was formed, woven together into one shield. For the father, mother, maiden, crone, smith, warrior, and the stranger, all came together, being thus honoured and intervened. This was not merely a trial of 7, it was a destiny unfolding, a tapestry woven by unseen hands, a song of a hero. We did not know it then, but the 7 had already begun shaping him. And in that shield, the 7's influence was ever present, guiding Dunk's journey, shaping him into the knight he was destined to become. And perhaps, from a bird's eye view, the 7 are within all of us, and it only takes the right threads pulled together to reveal that power.